Hey guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. I'm Mac if you're new here, and today I'm going to be answering some of your most asked questions that I get both on YouTube and on my social media platforms. And while I'm doing that, I'm actually going to be creating a design and uploading it onto one of my favorite products to sell on Etsy and hopefully TikTok soon as it comes available. So that's what's going to be going on in today's video. It's a little bit of a different style of video, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit, and I haven't posted in a little bit. I've been honestly traveling a lot, and so yeah, some new content, and we're gonna get right into the video. But if you're not subscribed, make sure to do so if you want to be a part of our community here on YouTube. I post videos weekly about e-commerce, passive income, and different ways to make money online, and I would love to have you as a part of our community here. So while I'm pulling everything up, I recently just got back from a Europe trip. I was gone for 3 weeks, which was a pretty long time. And the whole reasoning of me leaving and going on this trip was to actually film a really cool ad campaign with Printify. So I will link that below for you if you want to check it out. It was honestly one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Just being able to be in front of that much of a production and camera setting. So check it out below if you want to. And speaking of Printify, I am going to be designing a product from Printify. It is the glass sipper. So this is a huge seller on Etsy, and as I said earlier, hopefully on TikTok as well. So the very first step in all of this, when you're designing a product in general, you need to get your dimensions before you create your design. Now, I have been doing this design method for years, and it's just so helpful getting the exact dimensions to design in before you go ahead and start creating your design, so you don't have to resize everything later and then upload something that just doesn't work for your design. So I'm going to be using the glass sipper to design for today because I want to create a cool spooky design for Halloween coming up. And as I said, I need those dimensions. So I'm going to click on the product and hit start designing. And then right here on the left side, you'll see download design template, and you'll also see the print area size. So you can either download that template as it is, or you can just grab the dimensions, which honestly is easier in my opinion. So what I would do is just take the 2794 by 1179 as those guidelines, and then I would open my artboard in whatever design app I'm using in that exact dimension. So I am using Kittl today, really easy to use. I'll link it below for you, of course. And instead of just using one of these presets here, I'm just gonna enter the exact dimensions that I just saw on Printify. And then check that out. We have a beautiful artboard that is the exact size that we will need to upload onto our product. And now I'm just gonna jump over to Etsy, and I'm honestly just gonna do a little bit of design research and kind of get a feel for what I wanna create. You could also go to Pinterest, you could just go to Google, but I know that I wanna create a Halloween type of design, so I'm just gonna type in Halloween mug, and that's just how I'm gonna do my research. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and answer the first question that is honestly one of the main asked questions I ever get, and that is, how long does it take to succeed with an online business, whether it's print on demand, digital products? So this answer, honestly, it's different for everybody, right? It's different on your knowledge, it's different on your time, how much time you can put into something. I started in 2020 when I lost my bartending job, and my first thought was like, I have no other option. And I had all the time because it was COVID when I lost my job. So I just had downtime. So I was spending my entire day. I would wake up, make a coffee, watch videos about print on demand, and start uploading products and designing. So I was taking a lot of time out of my day to create and learn print on demand. And honestly, that's why I believe I was able to be so successful so fast, was how much time I had to not only learn, but to also execute my online business. And so within 6 months, I actually was able to profit over $100,000 on my print on demand store. Now, that's a whole nother story that lots goes into, but the whole point of this question and people asking me this is, it depends on you. Through people that I've taught and I've helped, the people that are actually taking as much time as they have on the side, whether they're working an online or another job or not, they're spending so much of their time learning and executing on their shops. Those are the ones that tend to succeed quicker than those who are putting, 1 hour a week into their store. Same thing once you already learn the process of print on demand or digital products or any type of side hustle or business you want to start, a lot of starting out is learning, right? And being able to apply those skills. So the whole idea of the question, how long is it going to take try to shift your mindset of like, how much time do I have to put into this so that I can succeed quicker? I would say all in all, it's kind of up to you how much time and strategy you're able to learn and put into a business. And of course, how much money do you have? Because if you have a lot of money up front to start any type of business, it's obviously easier to outsource resources, to get ads going, and to scale quicker if you have capital available, which I didn't, and I still did it within 6 months. So don't want to create any like false hope here. I want to be really honest. That's what happened to me. But a lot of the people that I help, the ones that are really putting time and effort, it's within like 4 to 6 months that they have, consistent sales that they're happy with. And then I've seen it as soon as literally like 6 weeks, somebody blew up their store, but I won't lie to you, they had money to put towards ads. Okay, so as I'm scrolling, I'm kind of wanting to go with like this type of cute ghost vibe. So you can see here, this design is kind of like a, it almost reminds me of embroidery, but like 3D ghost. I think it's super cute, and I think I could do something really fun with that type of idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to use that as my inspiration. Now, inspiration, I'm not going to be completely copying this design. I don't stand for that. So I'm on Kittl, which, as I mentioned earlier, is a design app which I'm going to be creating in today. And all I've done is go over to the Elements tab and typed in Ghost. So similar to a lot of design platforms you probably used before that have these available, they have tons of different shapes, elements you can use on your designs without having to worry about copyright stuff. So very, very key there. So I just grabbed these little ghosts to kind of be like the bone of my design. I like this color scheme as well. So anything that I bring in, I can kind of grab from this color scheme that I've already put in here. And because this is a collage, I'm going to just copy and paste that and put them over here too, and just start to make kind of like a fun design that's going to cover the whole, part of this. And then I'm just going to type in some other words like pumpkin and different Halloween things to find some more elements to put on my design. And then see how I was talking about how I can grab the colors from other elements in here. That's really helpful to make everything cohesive with my design. Next question that I get all the time, which rightfully so, is how much money does it take to start an online business or a side hustle? So obviously this can vary depending on what exactly you want to do, but the two methods that I use to make money online and talk about the most all over my channels are digital products and also print on demand. And both of these require, if not no money to start technically, extremely low startup. So we're talking like to do the actual business model, you're not really paying anything until you start making sales. And the only real expenses that you're going to have with that is setting up your accounts. So what that means is if you set up an Etsy account or a Shopify account, you'll have to pay the fees for those. And you're also gonna have to take into consideration different other things that you're gonna need for doing both digital products and print on demand, right? So you're gonna need a design platform like Kittl that you can pay for a subscription on. And while there are free versions, it's up to you if you wanna use those or not. Typically, if you're gonna be using it all the time, it's kind of worth the investment in my opinion. So it just is, those different expenses are going to add up. Same thing if you're going to use like a research tool or a mock-up tool, those things are gonna come with a cost. So that is the main process of what you're gonna have to really worry about spending your money on. So that's just something that I always like to mention because that can be your biggest expense. And then if you do something like print on demand, you only have to pay as you start to make sales. And a lot of people don't realize that, like using a print on demand supplier, Printify and Printful, both of them, you only pay them once you get an order. Like you don't have to just pay to use their platforms, at least at the time of making this video. So you can upload a bunch of stuff on your store, and then if you don't get any sales, you're not spending any money. The only money that you've spent has been, maybe to create the designs, to outsource the designs, or to do some research. So it's really not like you're having to spend thousands of dollars up front to get inventory for your products. You don't have to do that. So it's really beautiful for both digital products and physical products. And I feel like not a lot of people realize that. So yes, not gonna lie, it's not 100% free in a sense of can I start? Because regardless, even with free trials, at the end of the day, if you're using them, you have to pay, but it's extremely low startup. And honestly, I would throw out the number under $200 to start. Maybe in like the hindsight, because if you do end up canceling memberships and stuff, but you can start it with like $200. So that's really, really cool. Something else that I love to do in Kittl, you may have caught me doing this while I was speaking, is using their AI. So they have a really cool AI tool that's within the platform where you literally just type in a prompt and you can get a graphic for it. So I typed in cute pumpkin illustration and I just keep generating them until I kind of get a similar design of what I was looking for. So like both of these pumpkins could work, right? And then they pop out like this. And this one has a background on it. And then you can also use the AI background remover to just remove the background. So it's really simple. So see, now it's a transparent PNG image that I can use in my design as well. But I really like to use the AI because it can just give you different stuff than what you find in the elements that other people might be using. Now I'm just trying to make a little witch hat here, and I'm kind of doing the same thing with that AI and just seeing which one of these works the best. So like I just try out all of them. And it's really fun. It's like a cool way to create and just get like multiple different things to put in this design. And what's cool too is I can actually do a vectorize on the image to change the colors of it if I want to, because like as you can see, I have other colors that I'm working with in this design. So I can choose how many colors I want to see in the image and then vectorize it to change the colors on Kittl, which is really cool because that way everything is cohesive and works well together. So next question is about niche specific stores that I get asked all the time. And that is, why do I choose to do the niche store method? So as I said, I've been selling for almost 5 years on Etsy now, which is crazy. And my first successful store was extremely niche. And ever since then, I just kept rinsing and repeating the same exact process that I used to create that store. So what a niche specific store is basically a store that is appealing to a specific type of target audience and customer. So in this sense, right, this Halloween type of vibe that I'm making here, it would go in the more retro niche because I'm using more retro types of designs that make sense to someone who likes retro stuff. So you could have a whole store that's retro based, like cute retro stuff, or you could have a store that is geared towards nurses or to dog moms or dog parents or to teachers, right? There's so many different niches you could choose. You could also get really deep into wine lovers or yoga. Those are all niche stores that you could do. Now, where a lot of people get confused is they think, well, if I have a niche store, I can't sell a mug if I'm selling hats. And that's wrong. So a niche is actually where you're targeting an audience, right? So think of what your design would be. You can sell all types of different types of products. You can sell physical products, digital products, mugs, hats, t-shirts, wine tumblers. But the design that's going on those products is what matters because that's what somebody is initially looking for. So I personally have just always really loved having niche specific stores. I know that it's not for everybody, but it's just worked really well for me, and that's just what I continue to do. And honestly, one of my best pieces of advice for choosing a niche is to pick something that you're well versed in or that you have knowledge on already, because that way you can bring something to the table in the market and do research on it to see if people are buying in it. And sometimes the niche that you may want to work in, it's not searched for. So you got to do a little bit of research and see what is being searched for, and then does it line up with something that you're knowledgeable about. When I create designs like this too, it honestly takes a while to really get down how each little piece is going to go, but I try to start with like bigger images and then fill in stuff later on. Another really cool thing you can do is import images. So if you have an image that you want to use, you can import it directly in here, as I just did for this candy corn, and then do the same thing and vectorize it so that we can change the colors too. So it's kind of like bringing in, an image that you couldn't normally edit, but you can because you can vectorize it. So the next question is, what products sell best on Etsy? So that's a really great question, honestly, because it seems like the platform is just changing all the time. There's always different types of things that are selling well and doing well, and that's why research is so important. But honestly, I will save you the research and I'll tell you what I know and that a lot of sellers that I know and work with are doing right now, and that is personalization. If you are subscribed, I'm sorry, I sound like a broken record, but honestly, personalization is just so huge on Etsy right now. And if you're not doing it, you really need to be, just because it's huge. Like, trust me on that. So I would say anything that can be personalized, even if it's print on demand products that are trendy, like the product that I'm creating right now could be personalized with a name that could say like, Anna's first Halloween or like something like that, right? Where you can change out the name for first Halloween or have a customer add their text. And a lot of people don't realize that you can automate personalization now with both digital products and physical products. So with physical products, meaning the print on demand process, there's an app now that you can integrate with your store that will literally do it for you. So there's just so many options with that. But in general, I would say personalized products are a really huge thing right now and something that you should not take lightly if you are not selling them already. I feel like apparel just does really well on Etsy, always has. And also another thing that does really well would be like different types of gift ideas. So like mugs, hats, keychains, ornaments, things like that can be given as gifts. So think gifts when you're on Etsy. Even if you're doing a niche, how can you incorporate that as a gift? How can you make that a gift that someone would want to purchase for someone who's interested in your niche? So I'm starting to get to the end of the design because obviously like the space is pretty filled here, but this is the part that's kind of just like fun and like moving things around. So I kind of have like my base here, but then what I like to do and how I'm creating this is I'm literally just taking the different elements in here, hitting Control C and then Control V to copy and paste them on my artboard, and then I'm just moving them around and changing them. I am gonna add in a little bit of text. I'm just gonna do a thing that says boo, pick a font. So I imported this cute like retro one from DaFont into Kittl, which is really easy to do. And then see, as I said, I'm literally just copying and pasting and adding that around the design. So it just creates this like pattern type of collage. Is it trick or treat or is it trick or treat? Trick or treat. Trick or treat. And then I want this to be smaller, so I'm gonna just play with all different types of things like that you can do with the text. And then if I want to even go further, I can like add a background on that text to make it like pop a little bit. So next question is digital products or physical products. So honestly, a lot of people don't realize like how different these are, but you can still incorporate them on the same store as I was talking about. So basically a digital product is anything that does not require shipping at all. It's an instant download. So that can be anything from an online course all the way to a template or an art print that someone would print out. So there's lots of different options with digital products. And if I'm being completely honest, they are a little bit easier to create when you're starting out and can be more of a low cost and low effort business model, because when someone purchases a digital product from your website or from your Etsy shop, essentially you don't have to do anything because they receive it as a download automatically. It's pretty much passive income without having to manage as much customer service or really overseeing orders. So it really can be a great option for people that want a more passive business. Even if it's like a straight profit every single time, you do have to take into consideration that like it might not be as much of a profit, because if you're, depending on what you're selling, like if you're skilled and you're selling a digital product like a Shopify theme or like a content plan or something like that, right? Like those you can obviously charge a lot more for, but a digital product like a download or a template, it's going to be on the lower ticketed side. So that's another thing to consider. So when you're selling print on demand products, you can charge more and make more of a profit on them, but you do have to take into consideration on that as well, that those you do have to work with a print provider. You're going to have to check the status. It is a physical item that someone's going to be receiving to their home, to a shipping address. So it kind of just depends on what you want to do and who you're trying to sell to. At the end of the day, I think a successful store can have both. My most successful shop sells digital products like invitations, different like PNG files as well for people to use in their own designs, and different like signs and artboard posters. So I do have some videos that I will link about that. Okay, also have the question of Etsy, Shopify, TikTok, what platform do I sell on? So this can be overwhelming, totally understand, but honestly, if you're starting out and you're brand new, pick an e-commerce marketplace. If it is available to you, because I know that not every e-commerce marketplace is available to everyone, but if you have an e-commerce marketplace available to you, use that and start out with that as a beginner. It's much easier to start getting sales without ads in a social media plan when you're selling on a marketplace. So what a marketplace is versus a website, a marketplace is like Etsy, Amazon, now TikTok Shop, Walmart. Those are marketplaces where there's already active buyers coming to the platform, kind of knowing what they want to purchase, versus you having your own website where you're going to have to use SEO and different ads and social media marketing to drive any sort of type of traffic to your store, because you don't have active buyers just about to just come to your website for no reason. It takes a little bit more time and scaling. So honestly, can you do it? Start your own website with Shopify or whatever site and launch it? Totally, 100%. But in my opinion, in my experience, and with people I've worked with, it's easier and takes less time to start out on an e-commerce marketplace. Now, with an e-commerce marketplace, yeah, it comes fees, because you're essentially borrowing credibility and customers from the marketplace, right? You're gonna sell on a marketplace, but with that may come sales from customers you wouldn't have been able to reach as quickly if you had your own website, but you are gonna have to pay the fee for those customers coming because you're using a marketplace. So hopefully that makes sense. But a pro to a website is the scalability and having more control. So if you're selling on a site such as Etsy, they can close your shop at any time if they want to. So same with a different like social media account. Versus a website, you own the domain, you own and have more control on branding, about how your website looks and operates, the copy behind it, versus you do on a marketplace. So scalability long term, you definitely want to have your own business, but it's okay and a really good strategy to start out on a marketplace like Etsy, like TikTok, or Walmart, and even Amazon now is working on some pretty cool print-on-demand integration. So we'll talk more about that later. But overall, it looks really good. I'm happy with it. I think it's cute. I think it will sell. So I'm just gonna export this to upload onto my product. So all I'm gonna do is hit download, and anytime you're doing a download, make sure that it's a transparent background. So on Kittl, it's really easy. Just hit remove background and hit download. And if you do need to change the size, it's so easy to do here. And once I've done that, I can jump over to Printify and upload the design that I just made in Kittl. Okay, so check this out. See how it fits literally perfectly on the product, because as I told you earlier, to design in the same artboard size. So then we can just grab a preview of it. And honestly, this design took me about an hour and a half using Kittl. And I also sourced a few of the designs too, but I was using AI and all of their tools. Wait, this is so cute. If I were to upload this on Etsy or a Shopify store and then I get a sale, Printify would pack and ship it directly like this to my customers. Okay, next question is the legal stuff that I need for a print-on-demand or digital product business. Now, to just give a disclaimer, because unfortunately I have to, I am not legally allowed or trained to give advice on that, right? Just to protect myself and my own brand. And the best thing that you can do is get professional advice. Like, you can ask as many people on the internet what you should do, and they're all gonna tell you something different. Like, I learned that myself. Like, I would ask for tax help. Like, I would go on Google and Instagram and be like searching like crazy, trying to figure out if I needed to start a business, if I needed, to have an accountant, like all these things. And I was getting all these different answers, and I tried to do it myself, and I just ended up in a lot of just stress. Like, you could probably tell by the way that I'm responding to that. I honestly kind of really screwed up my first year selling because I didn't have the knowledge to know what to do and how to register a business properly and how to have an accountant for my taxes, especially with like profit versus revenue. I just didn't understand a lot of that. And so my best advice to you is to seek professional help. And I am not professional help when it comes to business legalities and tax information, because a lot of the people that view my content, you guys are all from different areas of the world and country. And so it's like, I can't give one solid answer on that. So best advice is to use a website or a platform or a professional to help you. I will link all the resources that I used in the description. And then what I also would say though, for people that are located in the US, because I'm located in the US, my businesses are operated out of that. I do have LLCs that my businesses are tied to so that my money is separate from the business's money, which basically is just making sure that I'm protecting myself if something legal were to happen with my business. If, God forbid, I were to get sued, right? That wouldn't come after me and everything that I own in my name. It would go after my business. So it's a part of like separating your business finances and legal and all. See, like, I don't even know the proper terms because I have an accountant and people that handle this for me, but the essentials of this are understanding, keeping that separate to protect yourself and to understand your money and to save money when you have to file your taxes. But best advice I can give is to seek legal and professional help, which I am not, unfortunately, and I'm just honest about that. But that's what I did. Don't try to do everything on your own. Please don't try to just use Google. Seek the help. It will be worth it, even if you have to pay for it. And honestly, a lot of family members too. I know that not everyone has access, but ask family or friends what they do. Like if you know someone that owns a business, they may be able to help you because they went through it before. So, ask for help, ask for advice with that, but ask a reliable source. So I went ahead and published that, and here I can edit it further and even get more mock-ups, but as you can see, it looks cute. This is a little preview of what it would look like. Obviously, we wanna add in more photos and stuff, but I have some other videos about that as well. So this is overall finished, and I'm really excited about this design. Like, actually, it's so cute. I think I'm gonna edit it a little bit more before I start selling it, but maybe I'll even link it on here if y'all wanna get it too, because I think it's really cute. And shout out to Kittl where I created the design. I will have them linked below for you. They are a really great design app that I do recommend and use, and obviously you can make really fun, cool designs in there, and it's just so user-friendly with all the different tools. So it is in the description if you wanna give it a try out for free. And also, everything that I talked about besides Kittl, of course, is linked below. So I do have the Printify sipper glass linked for you. I will have the resources for the different types of business stuff I just talked about and any other helpful videos that I do think would help you out. And the very last question that I want to answer, and that is so huge to all of this, is how do I start? So I know that starting something new can just be so overwhelming, and I've been there, I've done that, I get it. And the best advice that I can do to that is just start. Do the first step, whether that's creating your Etsy account, whether that's watching this video, because honestly, by watching content like this and consuming things like this, you just learned and watched me make a design and upload it. So it's like those types of things, like you already pretty much have started. So take the next step from there. Go one step at a time. Try not to get overwhelmed. You don't need to know the answer to everything to start out. Just create your account, make time for it. Put time aside to like, okay, I'm gonna create 5 designs today and upload them to 5 different products, or I'm gonna create my Etsy logo and shop banner today. You know, taking those steps and not overwhelming yourself and trying to start an Etsy account, a Shopify account, a TikTok account. You don't have to do that all at the same time, right? Pick one thing and just like follow the steps after that. I will have a helpful download in the description too, like I said, along with everything that I talked about, but the best advice that I can give is just start. Don't get caught up on little things. You'll change your business name. You can change your shop name. You can always edit things, right? But the actual act of starting is what so many people don't do, and why so many people don't succeed, because in order to create something great, you have to start. And it sounds so cliche, but it's so, so true. But thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. And if you like this style of video, let me know by leaving a comment and a like. And I love creating content. I appreciate this community so much, and I hope to see you in the next video.